And to create our new nebula, let's create a new composition. And we're going to keep it the same size. And let's call it a nebula. Press OK. And we're going to create a nebula in this new composition, and then we're going to paste it onto our original scene. We're just doing this way, so that if we make any changes to the color, it will automatically update. Alright, we've got our new composition. Let's create a new solid layer. New solid, or Control Y on the keyboard. And let's make it black. And let's call this base. Keep the width and the height the same. Press OK. Alright, let's search for our good friend fractal noise, and let's drag it onto the base layer. And we've got something like this. Now let's play around with the fractal noise settings. For my example, let's choose dynamic, and let's keep it soft linear. And this is sort of like a bubbly texture. Let's see what it looks like invert. Oh, this is an interesting look. And let's fiddle with contrast and brightness. We'll change the contrast to about 224. Press enter. And the brightness, we'll change it to -20. And press OK. Let's change the preview resolution to full to see what we got. Something like that. Okay. And now let's get our pen tool, and let's create a roughly circular shape. And basically we can be as rough as we want this stage, but we want to at least follow the contours. And let's close up our mask until we get something like that. Add some feathering. We press F on our keyboard, and let's feather it about 150%, and we get something like that. An almost circular shape of nebula. Very cool. And let's enhance these little white spots here, like it's area of gas and dust that are birthing new stars. And to do that, we simply go to Layer, New, Solid, and we want a white layer. Press OK, and let's turn the visibility off for now. And this time we want a ellipse tool, a circular mask, and we're just going to draw some circles around here, and just following the most intense parts of our fractal nebula design. And maybe one more here. A good 10. Alright, let's select all these masks, let's turn it back on, and let's press F to feather, and 38 will do nicely. And let's change transfer mode to add, and let's adjust the opacity by pressing T on our keyboard, and let's bring it down just a little bit. Too much? Maybe like that. 54% for now. And basically, if we turn the white solid off, we see what we have created. Some white spots here, just to give it some more variation. Alright, it's looking good so far. And let's give it some color. And to do this, let's create some adjustment layers. So we go to Layer, New, Adjustment Layer. And let's rename this by pressing Enter. Blue. Okay, let's search for tint. I'm going to drag it onto our layer. And you'll just grayscale it, even though it's already grayscale. And let's look for another one called Curves. I'm going to drag it onto our blue layer. And the reason why I'm using tint before the curves effect is to just balance the color a little bit out, to make it easier, and much more blending more easier. So let's give it some blue, and then crush the reds, give some blue around here. That's really blue. And let's crush the whites a little bit and darken it. Okay, that's a little bit too much. I think that looks good so far. Anyway, you fiddle with the tint and curves control to your liking. And let's color this inner shape around here. So let's create another new adjustment layer. And let's call this cyan. And this time we're going to select the cyan adjustment layer. And what we're going to do is get the pen tool, and we're going to mask out this shape around here. And let's feather that mask about 90 pixels. Okay. So therefore, since this is an add mask, all the colors we set within this cyan adjustment layer will only affect this part of the image. So once again, let's drop our curves, and let's drop a tint. Make sure the tint effect is above the curves, and let's play around with this until we get a nice cyan color. Adjust the blue, adjust the green. Oh, that's looking better already. Some red, something like that. And if we zoom in, it blends in quite nicely. And if we wanted to blend it even further, I can adjust the feathering, and then just the expansion of the layer, and we got something that looks like this. That's basically it. That's some basic color element. If you want to make it look realistic, please search Google Images or NASA and adjust the colors. But I just wanted to show you these techniques just to colorize it. Okay, the final step is to add this nebula to our scene. So we go to our original scene here, and we find our nebula comp, and we're going to drag it onto our star map, and we're going to change our transfer mode to screen. And the reason why we choose screen is so that we can see the stars underneath the nebula layer. Let's enhance this by adding a glow effect. Drag it onto our nebula layer, and let's adjust the radius, make it really big, and just the intensity just a little bit down. That's what it looks like it with off. That's what it looks like it on. And that's basically it. That is the basics of making her own nebula in After Effects. And of course you can add some more blue Gaussian blurs around the outside to give it that more dusty feel. Maybe a few more white circles with a little bit of feather. I just wanted to show you some basic techniques in this tutorial, and hopefully you can come up with some killer nebula space scene designs for your own projects. Okay, well, that's all there is to it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you have enjoyed this tutorial, please share this video with your friends on social media so we can all help each other out. Sharing is caring. Thank you very much for watching. Good night.